Have you ever wanted that amazing view like you see on the MLB on TV, where you've got the camera in the outfield that shows the pitcher and the batter? You ever wanted that for high school baseball? Well, I've been doing that for a couple of years now, and it's been quite expensive to get all the equipment and all the specialized gear to get it to work. But I figured out a way to do it that's cost effective, that I think that all the high schools around can do it. Let me show you how I do this. So what I do is I have a camera that I put in the outfield. Now this camera is pretty inexpensive little camera. It's powered by USB. It has a clean HDMI output, but it has this telephoto lens on it. And this works just fine. You could probably get a camcorder that has clean HDMI out. You might even be able to find one at the thrift store that has a clean HDMI out that is battery powered that you could put in the outfield, and that would work just as well too. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to put it on a tripod, kind of like this one, put it on, frame the angle, make certain you get all the zoom exactly how you want it, and then you're going to raise the tripod up. This is a 94-inch tripod. You raise it up, and then this motorized pan and tilt, you'll use a remote, and that will essentially go up or down, left or right, so you can get that angle just right. Now the camera has HDMI out, and this HDMI out is going to go out to a transmitter, and that's how you get that signal to behind the plate where all of your equipment is at. So here's my HDMI transmitter, and the HDMI comes into here and then gets sent wirelessly to behind the plate. And I use these extra, I connect them onto here, and these antenna are high gain, so that they'll send the signal 400 plus feet. I've tested out to 1,000 feet, no problem. I just stopped the test because I never was going to do anything that would need more than 1,000 feet. But you need to make certain that these four antennae are facing each other. The wording here is the active side, so you want those two sides to face each other. And so you have the transmitter, and then on the other end behind the plate is the receiver. And these are battery operated or USB-C operated, really easy to use. And then on the receiver, this HDMI output goes to an encoder, and this encoder here has the HDMI input, and then it encodes that video into NDI. Now the NDI is what allows it to get into the Mevo architecture. So you have on the back here, there's a network cable, and it's USB-C powered, which is awesome. But this network cable will essentially plug into the back of your router. All right, and there's a little travel router here. And this travel router is also USB-C powered, which is awesome. But the cable comes in the back here and then converts it. You get a conversion of NDI, so that it ends up into your Mevo architecture. So if you're using a Mevo Multicam app, then you can use this external encoder. So essentially it is outfield camera, HDMI transmitter, HDMI receiver, HDMI to the encoder, encoder to the router into the Mevo architecture. And then it's set up in the Mevo Multicam app as a specific extra camera, and you can just flip on that angle if you want. Super easy to do. So that is, you're looking at a really cost-effective method to get that beautiful view. Now, I don't just stop there. So I put a camera on the first base side, okay, going down the first base line. That gives me a good view of the left-handed batter and the first base. And then I also use this camera going up the third base side. It gives me the right-handed batter view and a good view of third base. I also have this little external microphone, and this is really nice because it takes out all that wind sound that can come, so it helps the stream sound a lot better. And it just plugs into the back of the camera, no big deal. One other thing that you might consider doing also is getting these quick releases. And I have these quick releases for my camera. This is awesome. Watch this. I just pull it up, take it off, back on, very quick. So when I get to the field, I can quickly put my camera on the mount. And then when I'm done, I can take the camera away. And then these can get stored so they don't break. So I really like those quick releases. I also have made this mount, this really cool mount that is super inexpensive. You could buy a magnet mount from other companies out there, and they are probably $80 to $100. This one, though, I bought these magnets on Amazon, and I connected it to a door hinge, right? Super easy. And then I just connected this with this nut here to this Smallrig Articulating Arm, and this allows me to go up to a pole when we have netting, pluck that on the pole, and then we got a mount here. Really, really easy to do. Also, you might consider is this type of a mount. And this mount is great when you have a big backstop, when you're far away from the plate. So if you get this thing all the way up in the air, you can get this really high, and that gives you a better view of the field. I think that's a great view. I also have that, quick release base there for my cameras. So essentially that is, oh, a couple other things. So you could also do play-by-play. So I'm using this microphone here, and here's another microphone. You give this to somebody else, like another fan, and you can do play-by-play and plug it in the back of your Mevo camera. You got play-by-play. But I think finally one thing I want to talk about is this router. Okay, I've got another video that describes how to bond cellular connections with this router. This is, I think, 120 bucks at the time I purchased this, maybe a little bit more. But essentially I can install a custom firmware on here, which is really easy to do. And now I can connect 2 or 3 cellular connections to this router, and it will bond those cellular connections together and give it a really strong, stable stream. So places like, you know, here where I live in Utah, American Fork or Springville, Utah, they have really terrible cell connections at their fields. But this allows me to get a stream that will work and be stable, so that we can get the games out. But I do have to use a couple of different cellular connections for that to work. But I've got them. I've got my own personal cell phone, I've got my work phone, and I've got a hotspot that I use. So those are all options that are available to you. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions. You can get the links to all of these products and the details below. Those, when you click on that, I will get a slight commission from it. But do look into setting this up. I think you'll really enjoy how it'll make your stream so much better. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.